Guys, check it out. You TiVo every episode of Family Guy? Dude, it's a good show. Yeah, lots of people like Family Guy. Ugh.
Hello, you beautiful nerds. I got another list for you guys, and this time we're talking cartoons. But like, for grown-ups. Like, immature grown-ups.
Look at me, Steve. I'm like a jockey who came 4 times.
A while ago, Family Guy and The Simpsons were really the only adult cartoons in the game, but today there is a groundswell of quality cartoons that you probably shouldn't let your kids watch.
I hate Earth. People are stupid. Everyone claims to like old people, but they're not fucking them. I fuck old people all the time. They love me.
It was tough making this list because there are a lot of adult cartoons that I absolutely love, but top 10 is catchier than top 37, so this is what we ended up with. As always, I want to preface by saying that these are all my personal favorite shows. I'm not trying to debate what the best is, but I am curious of what your favorite adult cartoon is, so feel free to leave that in the comments. But for now, get yourself comfortable, have a drink, smoke some weed, and play some bongos naked, because I'm gonna count down the best.
My grandparents are staying with us, and they were both alive during Prohibition. This is what it sounds like when they have sex in the room next to mine.
Ow! Ow!
Number 10, Bob's Burgers. This is such a comforting show. You can really throw it on anytime, on any episode of any season, and you will enjoy yourself.
Nature boner! Boing!
That's not what it is, Gene.
All the characters from Tina to Teddy are hilarious and have genuinely funny moments. The Belchers are underdogs, to put it mildly. To put it bluntly, they fail all the fucking time. But that's what kind of makes them endearing. Bob is actually a good chef that loves cooking and loves his family, so you root for him even though he loses so goddamn always. The kids are great too. Even all the weird people in the town are awesome.
Bob's youngest child, Louise.
It's your daughter?
Oh, they work with me at the restaurant.
Adorable.
Yeah.
You're such a good father.
Oh, no, it's more about not paying regular, whatever.
Number 9, Big Mouth.
Oh, fuck, me and my big mouth. Big mouth. That's the show. That's the show.
I wish I had a show like this when I was in middle school, because middle school is weird and awful. But this show provides a smart, insightful, and most importantly, funny take on awkward preteen years. 13-year-olds are already watching gross, silly cartoons, but this show is actually quasi-educational. It has that gross silliness of like a Family Guy or a Ren and Stimpy. It still manages to handle topics like sexuality, race, and tolerance in a surprisingly meaningful way. The ensemble is fantastic, but Jay has to be my favorite character just because the shit that comes out of this kid's mouth sometimes is fucking insane.
What are you, like, turning tricks in the parking lot?
No. Magicians do tricks, Lola. We don't turn them. I fuck for free.
Number 8, the PJs. An underrated gem from the 1990s, this stop-motion animated series was a show we didn't deserve. At a time when Eddie Murphy was at the height of his powers, the Nutty Professor Star co-created a show following a superintendent of a project housing facility.
We were doing a satire of the projects, basically. So it was something that hadn't quite been done, you know.
Behind only Axel Foley, Thurgood Stubbs is my second favorite Eddie Murphy character, period. He's a grumpy, cheap curmudgeon that deep down has a soft and kind heart. But he's also just a wildly hysterical dum-dum, which I always like.
Go smoke your crack, please.
For your information, I'm trying to quit. See? I'm wearing a crack patch.
That is a Band-Aid, Mr. Crack.
It kind of feels like a Black Simpsons because there are so many crazy background characters, and this show also loves a good pun. It's that wonderful combination of old school jokey joke comedy and goofy animated slapstick that I really fucking dig. Also, it's very black people. This was the first cartoon that I saw that had all black people, and I like black people. And I am black people, so that's cool.
Blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. I'm blickety black, blacker than black, black.
Number 7, the Venture Brothers.
I, for one, would like to see more women in positions of authority.
And more people of color.
And more people of color!
This show is kind of a cult hit. This one isn't as popular as other shows on this list. In fact, I'm pretty sure their fan base consists of me, my brother, and like 47 other people. But believe me when I say that this is an incredible series. The show follows a super scientist named Dr. Venture, his two sons Dean and Hank, and their ruthless bodyguard Brock Sampson.
Whatever you do, don't light a cigarette. A good sniper can see a hot cherry for miles. Brock, I don't smoke. Good, now's a lousy time to start.
It started out as a spoof cartoon set in the Johnny Quest universe, poking fun at shows from that era like Scooby-Doo, Birdman, and the Galaxy Trio.
Looks like you got a little, herpy on your lip there. You've been kissing your wife's ass? After I put herpy in there?
Eventually, the world became more vast, rich, and fun to explore than the shows that they were paying homage to. It recently got announced that they got the boot from Adult Swim, but if you can throw a rock in any direction, it'll land on a streaming service. So hopefully it can find a second life on HBO Max or something. 7 seasons and a movie. Number 6, King of the Hill.
These are medium rare.
What if somebody wants theirs well done?
We ask them politely yet firmly to leave.
I promise you, this show is a lot funnier and smarter than you remember. Hank Hill is a fantastic character. He's not only a funny caricature of a Southern conservative, but he also learns as the series goes on. Because of his love for his son, he's willing to accept the way his son chooses to live his life, even if it isn't the way Hank was raised. And Hank also starts to realize that he was raised kind of fucked up, and maybe a lot of his hang-ups are linked to trauma from his childhood.
It must be made of kryptonite or something.
Ah, for crying out loud!
Oh, good Lord, Cotton.
Every good parent wants a better life for their child than the one that they had. And beyond the silly antics of the town and whatever goofy shit Dale is up to on any given week.
If you want, I can show you how to make a bomb out of a roll of toilet paper and a stick of dynamite.
The show is really about a parent's emotional journey of how to treat his son and subsequently other people. King of the Hill has a great cast and impeccable writing that was always ahead of its time. I used to think that Hank would be a Trump vote if the show took place today, just because he's a conservative. But then I imagined Hank seeing this on the news for the first time, and I was like, nah, he probably wouldn't go for that.
You can do anything. Whatever you want. Grab him by the pussy.
Number 5, Archer.
Well, now I feel like an asshole.
When do you not?
Almost always. I really like me.
Baffling.
Archer is so well written, it's insane. It really is a cartoon for action and spy nerds in the same way that Solar Opposites is a cartoon for sci-fi and fantasy nerds. It has a lot of references to classic movies and TV shows like James Bond and Mission Impossible and like every Burt Reynolds movie.
You mad?
Give you 3 guesses, Pam.
No? No? No?
Yet another stellar ensemble cast with comedic juggernauts like Chris Parnell, Aisha Tyler, Judy Greer, and the legend Jessica Walter.
Mother, you're in a limousine.
And if I wanted to sit around all day going nowhere, I'd be a teacher. Look at me chopping ice for a Tom Collins like a field hand.
But I...
Ooh. Or do I want a mint julep?
This is obviously zucchini.
Oh, like you'd recognize a vegetable that wasn't wrapped in a Monte Cristo sandwich.
What's that supposed to mean?
That is Pam, isn't it?
The clear standout is H. John Benjamin as the titular character. As perfectly as his voice fits a schlubby, humble fry cook, it somehow also works as well for a proportionally confident asshole who happens to be the best secret agent in the world. They took a huge creative risk in the later seasons. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who hasn't seen it, so I'll just call them the dream seasons. But they are so insanely creative, and I can't believe how well they managed to keep the vibe of the show consistent in so many different environments. Though the sci-fi season was my favorite.
And that's gonna help you how?
All of this is necessary. Actually, let's see where it is. I only have another 7-8 steps in me.
Number 4, Daria.
Remember, when the Emperor looks naked, the Emperor is naked. The truth and a lie are not sort of the same thing. And there's no aspect, no facet, no moment of life that can't be improved with pizza. Thank you.
Despite being a spin-off of Beavis and Butthead, this show is surprisingly original. You see, Daria used to live in the same neighborhood as Beavis, Butthead, and a guy named Hank Hill. This show, however, starts when her and her family move to the town of Lawndale. Her and her best friend Jane make snarky comments about the world around them while trying to navigate the complexities of high school.
It is my privilege today to once again send the message that learning is no substitute for winning.
And that it's not how hard you study. It's how hard you play football.
Daria as a character is incredibly well written.
Isn't there any time when how you look doesn't affect how you're judged?
When you donate an organ, unless it's your eyes.
She's so smart, strong-willed, and observant, but also vulnerable and stubborn and kind of mean. Like, she's not a perfect character. She's flawed and makes some bad decisions, but ultimately she's just a kid trying to figure shit out.
Tragedy hits the school and everyone thinks of me. The popular guy died and now I'm popular because I'm the misery chick. But I'm not miserable. I'm just not like them.
This show is still funny to this day and also took the time to address issues like mental illness, racial inequality, and sexuality. I mean, of course, sexuality. I mean, after all, it was MTV.
Excuse me, everyone, I have a brief announcement to make. Jesus was black, Ronald Reagan was the devil, and the government is lying about 9/11. Thank you for your time and good night.
That can't be true!
Number 3, the Boondocks.
You're having that dream where you made the white people riot, weren't you?
But I was telling the truth!
How many times have I told you better not even dream about telling white folk the truth?
I felt like this show was made for me when it came out. The Boondocks came out of nowhere and was just, it was so black.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there! We don't use the N-word in this house.
Granddad, you said the word nigga 46 times yesterday. I counted.
Nigga, hush.
The show follows Robert Freeman and his attempts to raise his 2 grandchildren, Riley and Huey. Huey is a militant, book-smart admirer of the Black Liberation Army, and Riley is a charismatic, street-smart admirer of gangster rap. Like, Riley is more Wu-Tang and NWA, and Huey is more Tribe Called Quest and Brand Nubian.
What's a Nubian? Shut the fuck up.
The show's cleverly satirical look at racism, sexism, homophobia, prison reform, and the entertainment industry, and everything in between is undeniably whip-smart. And on top of that, the animation is absolutely superb. It has this anime aesthetic that makes the whole show look uniquely slick for a cartoon sitcom. Like, the fight sequences are unnecessarily good. The Stinkmeaner episodes are particularly impressive. Being a fan of anime and well-written comedy and, well, black shit, this series was right up my alley. It's a shame we won't be getting another season, but I can't imagine keeping it going without the late, great John Witherspoon.
He sure looks like a handful.
When he gets like this, I just don't know how to make him stop.
Have you ever tried beating his ass?
Number 2, Rick and Morty.
You're half cold, unfeeling reptile, half also cold, equally unfeeling machine.
Yes.
Wow. So your origin is what? You fell into a vat of redundancy? God damn!
I don't think any of the other shows on this list has become quite as infamous quite as quickly as Rick and Morty did. When I saw it for the first time, I loved it, but it has such a niche sci-fi nerdiness to it. I'm surprised it became the cultural phenomenon that it is now. And if you think I'm exaggerating, ask someone who worked at McDonald's in 2017. While it's nerdy, it's still well written. There's an actual continuity to the world. From small things like cracks in the roof of the house to huge things like Evil Morty, everything that happens has lasting consequences. And that also translates to the characters. It's still a show about a scientist and his grandson going on space adventures, but all of the characters do change and grow. To the point where I don't think that Rick and Morty are my favorite characters anymore. I mean, I obviously still love them, but Summer is awesome, and Beth is a straight up beast. Creators Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland are a great team, and the combination of what makes both of their writing styles so interesting turned out to be the perfect amalgamation for this infinitely fun yet overwhelmingly depressing show.
Nobody exists on purpose. Nobody belongs anywhere. Everybody's gonna die. Come watch TV.
Rick and Morty are the cartoon icons of their generation. If Bob's Burgers is the new Simpsons, Rick and Morty is the new Futurama. Which brings me to our last installment. Number 1, Futurama.
I think I have a scheme so deviously clever that... $500 and time served. Stupid anti-pimping laws. Well, pay the man.
Bender, honey, we love you.
Shut up, baby, I know it.
Like most people in America, I adore The Simpsons. I've never known a world without The Simpsons, so I literally have grown up with these characters. But also, like most Americans, I don't really watch The Simpsons anymore. If we're being totally honest, Futurama, Simpsons, and Disenchantment all deserve props in this video. But it felt a little weird putting 3 shows from Matt Groening on this list, and if I had to choose between the 3, I'd choose Futurama every time. Plus, I am way too much of a sci-fi nerd to leave Futurama off of my number 1 spot.
Pazuzu, you ungrateful gargoyle! I put you through college, and this is how you repay me?
It follows the misadventures of pizza delivery boy Fry after he's accidentally frozen and wakes up in the year 3000. Yes, it does have the whole fish out of water shtick, but it's really just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the story and the comedy. The supporting cast is insanely funny, and I'm continually astounded by how funny some of these jokes are after the 500th time I've heard them.
How awful. Did he at least die painlessly? To shreds, you say? Well, how is his wife holding up? To shreds, you say?
The show is crazy smart, which makes sense since a number of people on the writer's staff are actual geniuses.
I don't want to die at the age of 25.
Honey, unless we hit a time warp, I wouldn't worry about it.
Futurama is one of the few shows to get canceled only to be put back on the air years later. Season 6 is essentially just a bunch of straight-to-DVD movies they made before moving to Comedy Central.
That was the Panama wormhole, Earth's central channel for shipping.
How humorous.
Yes, it's sort of a Comedy Central channel, and we're on it now.
I get it!
Futurama also had the perfect ending when the show actually did end its run on Comedy Central. All the episodes in the last season are great, but the finale is particularly incredible. Leela and Fry's relationship is so interesting to watch bloom over the series, and seeing the interesting way they get to spend the rest of their lives together is so heartwarming and so Futurama. And the way that the last moment of the last episode perfectly ties into the first moment of the first episode is nothing short of brilliant. This show has made me cry from laughing so hard, and cry from crying so hard. With its intelligent writing, dumb comedy,
Get a room, you two!
We're in a room!
Well, then lose some weight!
remarkable animation, and an A+ voice acting cast, I have no problem saying that this is the absolute best adult cartoon of all time. To me. Oh, and real quick, just for funsies, from this list, why not count down all my favorite theme songs?
You're standing on my neck.
Holding down a cardboard condo, homeboy and a home. I'm the spark that makes your idea bright. The same spark that lights the dark so that you can know your left from your right.
Before you guys go, don't forget to click that like button. It helps with YouTube stuffs, and also it makes me feel special. Stay safe, my little hormone monsters. May the force be with you.